Part 2. Curtains of Molly Ringwald, which she had made, adorned the single window. A lesbian crush, she said, where the cigarettes were smoked at. There were 2 large shelves on either end of the far wall which had magazines and books displayed on them. It was clear Katie had set the books up to be displayed and admired by her many guests. Katie had torn the faces of pop stars and made them into a collage by her small bed. A floor cabinet was in the center of the room, large closet along the wall near. Red Christmas lights were draped over everything. Jessie leaned against her wall, sitting on the floor. And Leonard went screaming down the block, and the cops just looked at him like, "Fuck this," and proceeded through the light. Katie and Jessie laughed. Jessie pulled out some cellophane with some marijuana in it. Smoke? Katie got up and went to Molly's window. "I don't normally. We have to shotgun. I don't smoke joints, black lips." Jessie nodded. "You know how to shotgun, right?" "Not exactly," Jessie lied. You inhale, and then put your lips to mine and blow." Jessie took a hit from his joint, touched his lips to Katie's, and blew. As they leaned out of the window, their butts started to sway in the small space. Katie stood upright from the window and went to the bed. Jessie looked back. Katie swatted him away. I'm done. Jessie sat on the floor with the joint still lit in his fingers. Jessie smiled at Katie longingly. Some moments passed. "Oh, wait! I gotta go potty," Katie grunted as she bounded into the hallway. Jessie put out the joint and started to stare off into space when Katie was back very quickly. Katie made a noise to herself. "I need some, Jessie was too curious to disapprove. Katie went to the floor cabinet to fetch a children's lockbox. You typed in a number code, though the thing could easily be smashed, and inside was every drug known to man and assorted paraphernalia. "You see, my sweet, there is a time and a place for everything." Katie pulled out a half of a pop can with a torn tin handle. She took a little bit of her heroin and placed it on the bottom of the can. Katie untwisted the cap off a little vial of water and put a syringe in and pulled its hammer with her teeth. Squirted it into the bottom of the can, forming a clear pool around the heroin. Katie held the handle and used her pretty pink lighter to light the inside of the can, evaporating much of the water. Katie spent a cigarette and ripped out a piece of its filter, then rolled it around in the bottom of the can, absorbing some of the ingredients. Katie stuck the needle into the filter and pulled the hammer again with her teeth. Katie forced out everything that wasn't brown, which had settled. Katie lifted her pant leg and replaced the needle into her leg, and from the look on her face, you'd think it had always belonged there. "Usually my least favorite part," she said finally. But you're good luck." Through all of this, Jessie stared on, fascinated. He had never been in a lady's bedroom. He had no concept of narcotics outside of some marijuana plants. To him it seemed innocent, or at least foreign. Katie latched onto Jessie's arm. "I'd never get it on the first try. I really feel better now." Jessie lounged, stretched out on Katie's mattress in a wife-beater and corduroys. Jessie was reading one of her books. Katie steps out from her closet in a bra and panties. "Lingerie?" Rhetorical question asked dopily. Katie curled to one side and another, giggling. She danced as coordinated. "Isn't it funny?" Jessie clears his throat. "Many things. Funny, It is not. He sat up in the bed. As he looked on, fascinated, she giggled and jiggled some more. Aw, come on, Katie. What do you expect me to think? Katie giggled and jiggled. I'm gonna love ya, Jesse said, unintentionally intrusive in his tone. Oh, I don't know. I just like wearing them. Men are ridiculous. I feel so silly. Hey, you set up the rules, baby. I'm here to serve or admire or whatever the hell your prerogative is. He winks. It's not fair, you're right. I just like wearing them. She darted back into the closet and quickly exited in a Christmas light pink bathrobe. She climbed in the bed past Jesse, who quickly sat up so she wouldn't notice his erection, laid down flat on her back. Jesse laid back down beside her. Some moments passed while Jesse and Katie faced each other, watching. Katie took Jesse's hand and moved it to her belly. Can you feel it? He looked closer, eyes wide. Feel what? I'm pregnant. It took a moment for the humor of this statement to set in. Jesse began to laugh hard, his gut whopping, and Katie started giggling too. Eventually they fell asleep, clothes intact and Jesse fetal on the wood floor. In the dawn, Jesse sat up from her wooden floor, hands wrapped round his knees, staring at Katie's hair and face while she slept in bed. He could not sleep, and so he just stared at her face until morning. He took some breaks for cigarettes. Morning. Jesse got up from the floor and headed out of her bedroom. In the outer room, there was a man sitting in an antique dark wooden dining chair with his back toward Jesse. His left hand was pointing his cigarette outward. This was the first part of the man Jesse noticed. Jesse could also hear some slurping. Jesse walked to the other end of the table and sat down. The man, Raymond, took a puff of his cigarette, then spooned some cereal into his mouth, chewed it, swallowed it, and then blew the smoke out afterwards. Finally, he acknowledged Jesse by looking at him. Raymond plunked his spoon down into the milk, splashing. Raymond continued to puff the bit of cigarette left until it was done, and then put it out in the milk. Ray stared at Jesse, sizing him up. So, did you fuck her yet? Raymond asked. No, actually I haven't. Have you? Katie stepped out as Jesse's response was being uttered, and Raymond lunged for him, flipping the table. Jesse was on his feet quickly enough to elude him, and he looped Katie by the elbow and carried them out of the front door to the outside. Jesse and Katie started away briskly down the sidewalk. Raymond called after. I know what you're up to. Katie and Jesse turned around to listen. You can go smoke some more cigarettes, right? Sleep was still in Katie's eyes. Raymond approached her. Jesse was going to make an attempt to stand between them, but Katie told Jesse with her arm that she could handle herself. Give me those damn cigarettes. Raymond reached his hand into the left-hand pocket of Katie's sweatshirt and retrieved a pack of cigarettes. While at the same moment, Katie removed her right hand from her other pocket. She was holding a box cutter, and she put it to Raymond's chest. Give it back, Katie said calmly. Katie held out her palm, and Raymond placed the box into it. Katie put the cigarettes back into her sweatshirt. She and Jesse started to walk again. For the very first time in Jesse's life, he had fallen in love. Cupid